He's an entrepreneur, motivational speaker, television personality, and author. He turned down a career in accounting to focus on sales and now teaches others the art of selling. He's the author of 5 books and has hit the New York Times and Wall Street Journal bestseller lists. He's Grant Cardone, and here are his top 10 rules for success.
Hey, I want to talk to you today about success. Success, duty, obligation, responsibility. If you approach it any other way, which most people are, most people think, well, I'll be successful if the economy works. I'll be successful if something happens. I'll be successful if I win the lottery ticket. Look, you're not going to be successful if you don't demand it. If you literally don't stake a claim to it and say, this is mine, it's important, you're not going to have it, I promise you. I know, I'm telling you from experience. I spent the first 25 years of my life like a spectator, watching other people get successful and then wondering why I wasn't. Success is your duty. It is your obligation and your responsibility.
Almost 90% of sales managers say they don't have time, you know? And again, it goes back to, look, if you knew it was going to bank you money today, would you make time for it? Yep. So they would make time for it because they make time for the things that make them money. If you have a customer, hopefully, if you have a customer and you're working a deal with that customer and you got a hamburger in front of you, hopefully you're going to push the hamburger aside and work that deal because the priority is to make money. In the same conversation, that sales manager does not believe that sales training converts to ROI or money, so he doesn't make the time for it. When you say you don't have time, the truth is you're saying I'm not making it a priority because I don't think it makes me money.
So look, you want to get your work ethic so high that people actually admire you. I'm going to ask you a question right now. Do people know you because of your unbelievable work ethic? If you can't answer yes to that, man, you're not going to get in that top 10%. You got to get at the top. People have to know you, not because, oh, he's a good salesman. Oh, he's a good this. Oh, he's an artist. Oh, he's a good pianist. Oh, he writes a great, story. No, dude, people need to know you for one major thing first. He works. He produces. The guy's there every day. The guy's pushing and shoving. Because the truth is, no matter how good your ideas are, how good your art is, or how good your skill set is, if you're not working, man, if you're not vibrating at a frequency that people say, my God, how does that guy do all that? If you're not vibrating at that rate, 10x levels, massive action, tremendous work ethic that's just a muscle now, and it's just a discipline in your life, and it's a normal way that other people think is abnormal. Ryan Seacrest, Tom Cruise, Oprah, Steven Spielberg, Donald Trump, still pumping and working as a billionaire. Look, if you're not working at that level, you're not going to make it. Get your work ethic in, man. It's the American way. Work ethic. Check it out.
The biggest struggle, man, was just getting around other people that would say I could do it. I mean, that's the biggest struggle. Just you get around one guy says, yeah, you can do it. And then you talk to him tomorrow and he's like, no, dude, you can't do this shit. There's so few people telling you to do it. You know what there is a lot of? Save your money, protect yourself, conserve, don't spend, don't take risk. Taking risk is the new way to be risk adverse. So the biggest struggle for me was my family, man. The people closest to me was the biggest struggle. Every time I went out to do another deal, everybody told me, you don't need to do that, man. The only person that was encouraging me was my twin brother because I would see how he was doing it. Dude, he was making his swings. And so every time I'd get around other people, so I'll tell you a little trick I did. On weekends, I would always go see homes I couldn't afford. That has always inspired me. I would go drive neighborhoods. Literally, I've done this my entire life until I finally got to the point where they wouldn't even let me in the neighborhood. There's neighborhoods in Miami, dude, you can't even go see. They won't even let you in the gates. Most of them you can get in if you know some of my tricks. So the point that Shovita's writing on the board right now is you got fuel in your tank. It wants to be accelerated on, and then you got somebody in the back seat saying, hey, be careful. Nobody likes a backseat driver, okay? So they're sitting there, they're putting mental pressure on the brakes when you're trying to accelerate.
The negativity is just negative. And there's no money in it. There's no future in being negative. Where's the solution? I can't do that. We can't do that. That can't happen. This is wrong. That's wrong. Oh my gosh, taxes are too high. Dude, it's negative. It is negative. It is negative. Look, there's so much abundance of negativity. That by itself tells you why there's no value in it.
You got to make a commitment to service. You got to make a commitment to like, hey, I have a target. I know that when we don't achieve targets here in my office, the first thing I ask, regardless, the internet department, if it's my accounting department on collections, or it's my sales department, I'm going to ask a question. What is the target? No target results in no sales. So if you're in parts, if you're in service, look, have a target. Measure that target hourly. If you really want to get results, measure your target every hour to see what did we get in the last 60 minutes. I promise you, do those two simple things. Don't even learn anything about how to sell anybody anything. Have a target, measure it every hour, and I guarantee your sales will come up. Within any company I own, I have 4 and 5 flows in every company. I don't have one flow. I'm not going to depend on one product. Once I get those 4 streams coming in from one company, okay? For instance, at this company, it's an online project called Cardone University. Then there's speaking gigs. Then there's books. Then there's audios. There's MP3s. Those are flows coming in for one company. At some point, I'm like, okay, let's do a second deal. So I'm going to then have a company that runs parallel like a skier, right? I don't want the skis crossing over. I want them to be parallel so that anything that maybe I can't do any longer in this company, maybe I'm going to outsource to a partner and build a second company. Then once these two are skiing along and happy, maybe I'm going to go do a third company out here that I have a passion for that has nothing to do with these first two. That is not diversification. That's multiple strong flows. And when I make a bet on this third company, dude, I want to take it. I want to take all the money from these first 2 flows, and I want to say, hey, if it's a good deal, go all in. If you're not sure, don't put any money in it at all, folks. There's so many mistakes salespeople make. I think you need to get down to like the main ones, but you're not selling the solution. I mean, even before that, though, I would say, Corinne, is the biggest mistake. People are not excited. They're not alive. They're not showing interest in the cycle, and they lose interest. I was in Barcelona recently, and I was looking at a watch, and the cycle didn't close. I could have bought the watch. I was qualified to buy the watch. I'm the one that walked myself in the shop on my vacation to look at the watch. I knew exactly the watch I was looking for. And when I left, my wife said, what could he have done to close the sale? I said, well, he could have kept life in the cycle. He could have kept the cycle open. So what I mean by that is, look, if you're not interested, if you don't believe the cycle can be closed, it will not close. So the number one mistake I think salespeople, managers, and the store makes is they assume a close can't be had that day. I go into every cycle, every sales cycle with every prospect, every phone call, no matter how complex the sale is or how simple it is, with the belief that I can sell that product that day, this time, now.
Hey, work to your potential, not your quota. If you want to stay really motivated, if you want to answer the question to why people that have already made it keep pushing, it is because they don't operate on quotas. They operate off potential. They're driven to reach their potential. This is also tied to their ethical obligation. They know what they're capable of. Nobody can tell you what you're capable of. You're the only one that knows. Okay? So work to your potential, not your quota. Quotas are numbers. Who made them up? Some guy says, okay, your quota is blah, blah. Okay? Based on what? How did he come up with that quota? He only picked that quota, that number, because he thinks it's significant or compared to other people maybe in your industry. Look, don't operate on quotas. You want them. Clearly you want them. But you want to be driven to reach your potential, not just some number, some mechanics. Hey, my potential, I know. Nobody else knows it. I know what it is. You know yours. Work to your potential, not just a quota, and I promise you, you will be on fire day and night.
Hey, Grant Cardone, I just want to give you a little encouragement here on a Thursday afternoon. This week I have been in Detroit, Buffalo, New York City. I was on my way to Hartford. It got canceled because of some situations. Whoa, I just dropped my bag. Why am I telling you all this, okay? Now, I came to the wrong terminal, having to walk back to 2. I'm not asking you to feel sorry for me. I'm doing this as an encouragement video. Dude, things don't go right. You got to push harder. You got to spend money that you didn't think you were going to spend. Hang in there. Don't quit. Do not quit. push. Okay, I know how hard it is. I know it's hard. I know there's moments where everybody thinks, oh my God, what am I doing? Just keep pushing. Your family needs you to do it. Your community needs you to do it. God bless America. It definitely needs you to do it. So hang in there. Keep pushing. When you think about quitting, just understand that everybody you compete with is having the very same thought. Last man standing, baby. Man or woman.
Thank you so much for watching. I made this video because Chris Waller asked me to. So if there's a famous entrepreneur that you want me to profile next, leave it in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. And I'd also love to know which of Grant's 10 rules most apply to you and you're gonna go and take action on them. Leave it in the comments. I'm gonna join in the discussion. Thank you so much for watching. Continue to believe and I'll see you soon.